everybody. Brian here from IELTS Prep Headquarters. I am an IELTS expert and I teach online for the majority of my classes. And I want to show you how to use Google Meet to be able to teach and interact with your students. So let's get to it. So first off, we just go to the Google Meet website. That's meet.google.com. I am also on a paid plan, so this might be a little different for you, but Google says that they should be rolling this out for everybody. There's also some new features that I want to show that we have right now, and other features that may happen in the future. So um, I do not have any upcoming classes at this time. This is where they would be for my students and for myself. It's connected to their Google Calendar. And you can do this also through Google Classroom. Right now we'll just do a new meeting, so you can see Google Calendar later, but right now we'll just do an instant meeting. So as we join, I'm the only one here. I'm going to also mute myself and there is no camera due to the fact that I'm also recording on a third-party app. So, but in this time, what we'd be able to do is we're able to see our team and our meeting hosts, and we're able to add people. I will not add anybody at this time, but I will have somebody join so that you can see what other things that we have. So let's get to the features. As you can see already that it's on a dark mode, which is pretty fantastic for us who are having to stare at a screen for hours on end. Dark mode is great. They already also have this link here, easy for you to connect, and you can copy and go ahead and send off to other people. This is also great if you want to be able to send it right away, especially if you're having a meeting or have a one-on-one session that needs to happen right away. All right, now let's take a look at the bottom. As you can see, it's asking me to turn on my mic because I have it off. But what we'll do is we will turn it on for a moment so we can turn on closed caption, which is this button. We can change the captions as well to different languages, but right now we'll stay in English. So here is what closed caption look like. So here's what closed caption looks like. As we can see that it is pretty close. It's using the Google Voice API. So of course it has the technology to go ahead and take our closed captioning and auto translate. You see this a lot on YouTube videos. The next button over is raise your hand. Over here, you'll see that they raise their hand. Myself, I raise it and I can lower it. Let's just go ahead and raise it again. And as an admin, whenever we see show everybody, we'll actually see that they have the hand raised. We'll go ahead and lower that today. And then next we will be able to share our screen. It's a present now, and you'll have the choice of doing 3 different options, which is your entire screen, a window, and a tab. The limitation with Google Meet at this time is that the tab is the only one that will play the sound. If you're on a Mac, sometimes they allow you to play sound on the entire screen, but it is not always functional. Now if we go to the 3-prong bar here, there's actually several new and great things that we can use. Some of these are old, like use a phone, report a problem, etc., etc. But some of the other ones are relatively new. Is this whiteboard, which is a Jamboard. You can record the meeting, which I believe is a premium feature. You can also change the layout when necessary. As you can see, there's 4 different ones. I usually keep it on auto and or tile, depending how many students I have. If I have a student that is doing a speech, I like to spotlight them and go ahead and place them in the middle. Also in auto, you're able to pin somebody to the front and then everybody can see them as like you were doing a presentation. Let's go ahead and move on. The first button here is the same one as we saw before. You just copy the information. The next button, we will show everybody, but let's skip that for now, and then we'll be able to move on to the next one. The next one is to chat with everybody. This chat is not like other chats. You can only send it to everybody. There is no personal chatting. So that is something that we need to be looked into a little bit more, which I think is a limitation. If we take a look at the top here, we can let everybody send messages. This will be untoggled when other people join. And we'll do that here in a moment. And finally, we have this activities board. The activities board actually has a bunch of new things that you may or may not have seen before. We have breakout rooms where we're able to send students into different rooms, and you can set them up randomly, timer it, and clear it. This is very easy to open and close the rooms. We have polls. These are ways that you can interact with your team, or sorry, interact with your students. You can go ahead and start a poll that way. Q&A is just an option where you're able to give questions and give people to answer, almost like a interactive quiz, but this is a little bit, does not really track the scoring or anything of that nature. Recording we've already gone over, and whiteboarding we've already gone over. This is a Jamboard, and we will discuss that in a future video. Finally, this is the last new button here is the host controls. This is the one that we were discussing that is really nice to give information. Let me go ahead and show you that again. So down there in the bottom right is this little badge icon. So here we can see that we can give host management. This is where you can able to remove certain things from people to do. So if you're in a class with kids, I usually take this off. We don't want them to share their screen because they don't know how, and if they do, it's very difficult to get them out of that screen. You can override it, but once one student learns how to do it, they all learn how to do it. If they are being distracted, you can always turn off text messages. This is the quick access. I do not suggest turning this off because when you do turn it off, anybody can join. And that means that nobody will knock on the door and go ahead and just join as one would. So let's go ahead and turn this back on. And I'm going to copy. I want to send in a student. And as we can see, student Johnny wants to join. Since we've already had the settings for that you have to ask to come in, we're able to deny them, or able to admit them or let them in. Let's go ahead and let him in. So while you have other people here, you're able to move your own little camera around. Go here and up here, and you can also move it down to the bottom left, down in this area. You're also able to pin yourself to the main screen. This means when you're giving a presentation, this will always be seen by your students no matter what they do. You can do this also again for other students too. All right, we can go ahead and unpin that student. And now it will go back to your default, which means that it will show multiple people. These are different ways to go ahead and quickly jump to different views. And as we were discussing before, let's go ahead and take a look at a few different things that are happening. First off, the student will raise their hand. As a teacher, I am now able to see that student Johnny has raised his hand, and I can always open up the queue to see who has done that with the raised hand. We can see who else is actually here as well. Let's go ahead and lower his hand. As you can see, it has been lowered. We can mute everybody at one point in time. So if you think that all your students are being too noisy or they're turning on off their microphones, you can mute them all at once. And then finally, we can move over to host controls. So for example, I can turn share screen and turn off chat messages as we were talking before. I really want to, in the people button, show everybody, I'm actually able to click on this person and grant them host control. So now they are able to do anything that a host would be able to do. So if you have a TA in your class or need a TA, this is one great way to let them help you. And that's everything that's new with Google Meet in 2021 so far. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. And that's it. Thank you.